and good morning. It's time to wake up, Nigeria.
Yes, it is. It's 7 a.m. and you know how it is. We are coming to you live from the studios of TVC Entertainment here in Lagos.
Remember, we're streaming live on tvcontinental.tv and of course on Facebook. You need to look us up on TVC Connect. When it's time for your comments, make sure you use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
Yes, indeed. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning and you know how it is. We love it.
Welcoming
when it's Wednesday.
Us. You're welcoming us into your homes once again. It's going to be a great day. Make sure you don't miss any part of today's show.
And as always, it's a pleasure to announce that Beyonce is joining us this morning in the kitchen.
Hello, good morning.
MM is right there too.
Hi, MM.
Looking very flowery.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just looking at that right now.
All right, so we're going straight to the highlights of today's edition of the program. We will be chatting with a couple who stood against the challenge of cerebral palsy. Their story is very inspiring. We also have a feature on sustaining traditional dance in Enugu State of southeastern Nigeria.
Super Mike will be giving us some viral stories this morning. Those are always really interesting. And media personality and author of Unbecoming, Toke Makinwa, will also be joining us.
There's nothing like a boy meets girl, girl meets boy, they start to chat, they fall in love, and then along the line they decide to get married. Now, fire for fire.
But as always, our starting point is the news, and my man Ike is on standby.
Well, Yomi, thank you very much indeed. And here is the news update. About 20 deaths have been reported in the cholera outbreak in Borno State, with another 315 suspected cases still being treated. According to Nigeria's Center for Disease Control, the disease has affected 6 areas in the state, with the Muna Garage become on the outskirts of the capital, Maiduguri, the most affected. After the investigation by the Borno State Ministry of Health, the World Health Organization, and some other agencies, cholera outbreak was confirmed. And as the strike by the National Association of Resident Doctors continues, Minister of Health Isaac Adewale has directed heads of federal government hospitals to ensure that all other medical doctors are available to fill the vacuum created by the strike. Now, these include consultants and even youth core doctors, as well as doctors on internship. Resident doctors started a total and indefinite industrial action on Monday in order to get the government to agree to a list of demands. They want an immediate payment of salary shortfalls experienced between January and May of this year. They are also asking the government to stop its plan to stall the promotion of resident doctors. The strike could cripple services at the hospitals, but the minister says his directive ensures that a provision of health services continues. Nigeria news now from yesterday shows that Nigeria has finally exited recession. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, the nation's gross domestic product grew by 0.55% in the second quarter. In real terms, this means that the economy has posted growth in the last 5 consecutive quarters after the initial contraction in the first quarter of the year 2016. In other stories, the federal government is reacting to the news of Nigeria's exit from recession with cautious optimism. It says that it would continue to drive the country's economic growth by vigorously implementing the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan launched earlier this year by President Muhammadu Buhari. The overall economic plan and direction of the administration has resulted, among others, in a sustained restoration of oil production levels, sustained growth in agriculture, mining, and the first growth recorded in industry as a whole in the last 9 quarters since the last quarter of 2014. The 300 million naira suit slammed on the Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris and 3 others by the suspected billionaire kidnapper Chukwudumeje Onwamadike, also known as Evans, challenging his continued detention, was on Tuesday adjourned until September the 21st. The Lagos Division of the Federal High Court, while adjourning the matter, held that there was no urgency for the suit to be heard during the court's vacation. Evans pleaded guilty to 2 counts of conspiracy and kidnapping when he was arraigned before a judge last week. In the fundamental rights enforcement suit that he filed before a Federal High Court, Evans sought a court order directing the police to charge him to court immediately or release him on bail. Well, of course, that's the update. We're going to bring you weather updates, and then Tolu and Yame will be back.
Time now for sports, and Super Mike is right here.
Yep.
Hey, Mikey.
Kitty looks lovely this morning, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I love that makeup.
Aw.
All right, this is Sports Update. Mike Messi Kenor. Nigerian coach Alex Moore has released the final 12-man roster for the FIBA Afro-Basket tournament, which dunks off this Friday. The squad is made up of 10 foreign-based players led by Captain Ike Diogu, who is the only member of a title-winning squad in 2015. Others are Deji Akindele, Kelechi Anuna, and Washington Wizards forward Daniel Ochefo. Players from the domestic league include Musa Usman, Abdul Yahaya, Dike Azwoma, and Victor Anthony. The team will depart for Tunis today. The 2017 Afro-Basket is jointly hosted by Tunisia and Senegal. The Tigers will begin their campaign in Group A against Ivory Coast in Rads on September 8. Mali and DR Congo are the other teams in the group. And then on to tennis. Juan Martin Del Potro came back from 2 sets down and saved 2 match points to beat 6th seed Dominic Thiem in a raucous US Open Classic. The 24th seed, cheered on by a large Argentine contingent on the grandstand court, won 1-6, 2-6, 6-1, 7-6, 7-1, 6-4. Despite feeling ill and requiring treatment, he came through in 3 hours and 35 minutes to set up a quarterfinal against Roger Federer. The Swiss 3rd seed beat Germany's Philipp Kohlschreiber 6-4, 6-2, 7-5. Elsewhere, Russian teenager Andrew Rublev knocked out Belgian 9th seed David Goffin to set up a US Open quarterfinal with Rafael Nadal. Rublev won 7-5, 7-6, 7-5, 6-3 to become the youngest man to reach the last 8 at Flushing Meadows since Andy Roddick did it in 2001. Nadal saw off Ukraine's Alexander Dolgopolov 6-2, 6-4, 6-1 in just 1 hour and 41 minutes in New York. And then, of course, on to some exciting news. Bulgaria's Kubrat Pulev has confirmed he will face Britain's IBF and a WBA heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua in Cardiff on 28th of October. The 36-year-old is the mandatory challenger for Joshua's IBF title. The Bulgarian added Anthony Joshua is a great and dangerous rival. The bout has not just been confirmed by Joshua's team, with promoter Eddie Heim stating an announcement will be made on Tuesday. Cardiff's Principality Stadium is expected to host the bout 6 months after Joshua stopped Vladimir Klitschko at a sold-out Wembley Arena in April, to add the WBA title to the IBF belt he claimed in 2016. Klitschko delivered the only defeat of Polev's 26-fight career in 2015, but the Bulgarian has won 5 fights in a row, taking him to a position as the IBF's mandatory challenger. And then on to football. Atletico Madrid manager Diego Simeone has signed a new 3-year deal that would see him remain at the club till 2020. Atletico confirmed this renewal through the official Twitter account. The Argentine had been linked with a switch away from the club. Simeone has won the La Liga title, Copa del Rey, Spanish Super Cup, Europa League and UEFA Cup with Atletico Madrid since he arrived in 2011. He has recorded 200 wins, drawn 67 and lost 54 in the 321 games he has managed Atletico. And then on to Euro qualifiers for the World Cup. World champions Germany maintained their 100% record in the qualifiers by thrashing Norway 6-0 to stay top of Group C in Europe. Mesut Ozil opened the scoring by firing in before the Arsenal man turned provider for Julian Draxler. Timo Werner found the net twice before the interval, after which Leon Goretzka and Mario Gomez both nodded in. In the same group, Azerbaijan beat San Marino 5-1. Northern Ireland defeated Czech Republic 2-0 to stay in second place. Poland stayed top of Group E with a comfortable 3-0 victory over Kazakhstan. England survived a scare as they came from behind to beat Slovakia at Wembley and take a giant stride towards qualification, while Scotland beat Malta to move within a point of second-place Slovakia in World Cup qualifying Group F. All right, and that's it on the sports update this morning. It's the bomb and the dynamite. Take it away.
I'm going to get you for those nicknames.
No, you can't. You can't. You've always been saying it, man, but you've not been able to.
Those names have not been officially sanctioned, so you can't use them.
Eventually.
You want me to step
just
it up?
Yet.
The next time I will step it up.
Thanks so much, Mike, for the sports update. We're going straight to the newspaper headlines this morning, starting with this day, with the headline, "Despite exiting recession, federal government admits growth remains fragile." That's on the cover of this day. Buhari expresses hope recovery will improve living standards. Senate elated at improvement in nation's economy. And then still on the cover of this day, with population growth at 2.7%, Nigeria still not out of the woods. Again, Federal Executive Council meeting cancelled over public holiday. And then the Nigerian president comes visiting. You can see a photograph of that on the cover of this day. And then finally, Intel's Volpe steps up battle against Wale Tinubu over control of Owando. Petitions, SEC seeks to stop company's annual general meeting. And then Owando, this is an attempt to force us to buy out Volpe. All that on the cover of this day this morning.
Okay, and on the cover of The Punch, the CJN, Okunjo-Iweala, Fayemi, Fayose, and others under probe, say EFCC. That's on page 7. Patience Jonathan, Kogi, Governor Akpabio, Abati, Okupe also on the list. Now, there's a disturbing image of, what seem to be members of the National Association of Nigerian Students factions in what they call a free-for-all. That's, at each other's necks there at the Unity Fountain in Abuja. That happened on Tuesday. I wonder what that's about. The Nigerian president visits Buhari in Daura. You can find out more about that on page 9. 50,000 naira bail. That was an issue we started discussing earlier this week. I spent 4 days in a cell, paid 29,000 naira, says driver. Yeah, that's another interesting one. Buhari cancels FEC meeting over the Salah holidays. And also on Buhari here, Buhari economists and others caution against celebrating Nigeria's exit from recession. He says our work is not yet done. It doesn't really reflect reality, say PDP. One last one here. Federal government ASU meet on Thursday. NAN's factions exchange blows in Abuja. That's on page 7.
All right, and then on the cover of the Vanguard, exit from recession nice if felt by ordinary Nigerians. That's from the President Buhari there. And then statistics not reality from the PDP. Recession still on. That's maritime operators. And then economy running below par, still tied to oil. That's from the Economic Summit Group, the LCCI and others. And doctor strike, families evacuate patients as federal government moves to resolve rift. And 55 husbands reported being battered by wives in Lagos. That's an interesting story. Federal government to take over and sell unoccupied houses in Abuja. And then strike, federal government ASU meet tomorrow. No FEC meeting today, Lai Mohammed. And I think that's about it. And then just one more. CBN lifts Naira with an injection of $250 million into the economy.
Okay, and moving forward to the Nation newspaper here. Buhari, others urge caution as economy exits recession. Senate, House of Reps excited. Okay, until coming out of recession translates into meaningful improvement in people's lives, our work cannot be done, says President Buhari. There's also something on the doctor strike here. CMDs to keep hospitals alive. That continues on page 4. Sage, bank chiefs aiding corruption should face trial. You can find out more about that on page 4. Olubadan, judge transfers case to Chief Justice. That's on page 48. Clark slams Biafra agitation and quit notice. You can find out more about that on page 7. Regarding Evans, 900 or rather 300 million naira suit, no longer urgent. That's on page 42. I really wonder where that is going. But that's all we have on the cover of The Nation. And you should pick one up if you want to find out more. That's it on the headlines for this morning. And the headlines are proudly supported by Dettol. Be 100% sure.
And now Mike Mesikeno is on standby with Ruby Agu for some aerobics.
Okay, who fitness app? All right, good morning. Let's get to work out. I'm excited to see that what Ruby has for us this morning. I love your top, by the way.
Thank you.
Fitness app. Who you app?
Me.
Yep, you are. Okay, so what do we have this morning? What are we doing this morning?
Okay, so we're going to do a little warm-up and some cardio workout.
Okay, warm-up and some cardio.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to what you
Just
have for us.
enough to get us through the day.
Through the day. All right, cool. Okay, so let's see what Ruby has for us. Take it away, Ruby.
Okay, thank you. So, first of all, we are going to have a little warm-up for the upper arm warm-up. I call it arm cross. So we're going to do 20 of this. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That one was just so that we don't injure our arms during the workout. And then now we're going to warm our legs, our lower body up a bit with some side lunges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm sure right now all our muscles are loosened up. So we're going to go into the workout proper. Let's go. We're going to start with jumping jacks. We're going to do that for 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I bet we're waking up. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is going to be a lower body workout. I call it lunge kick. This is a lunge. So when we come up, we kick. That's what I call lunge kick. So we're going to do 10 on each side. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's for the left leg. Now we go to the other leg. 10, 9, 8. Slow and easy. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we raise our pulse once again with another cardio move. This is high knees. We're going to do it for 20. Let's go. 10. 10. I bet we're up again. So now we'll do another lower body workout. I call it squat knee up. Squat, knee up. That's it. So slow and steady again. You make sure when you're doing it, your knee, the tip of your knee doesn't extend to, you know, past your toe point. So we do that again for 20 seconds. 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're good.
Yeah, we are. So what have we achieved after such a workout like this?
Okay. When you work out like this, because it's more of cardio,
all right,
it means your heart rate is pumping.
True.
And then, you know, your muscles wake up.
All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much. All right,
Thank you.
That's all we can take from the fitness session. Now, let's get to the kitchen. It's steaming, but then there's a very beautiful looking MM. I don't know if she's competing with the food, but for me, MM stands out. MM, what do we have this morning?
Hello, Mike. How are you doing? All right, that was a fantastic exercise routine there by Ruby. All right. All right, Beyonce is in a really good mood today. What's going on, Beyonce?
You know, I went to Port Harcourt and, you know, I went to rest.
No, you didn't go to Port Harcourt.
I went to rest. So
you're still yet to tell us what you went to Port Harcourt to do, but before that,
yes, let's talk about what we're cooking.
Yes, what are we making today?
So, in order to avoid stories that touch, we started cooking the beans. We are making mashed beans and seafood pepper sauce. But we started cooking the beans earlier because we all know that beans takes a lot of time to cook, and we don't want our guests saying, what is this guy doing here? You know. So we started cooking the beans earlier.
Yeah.
What I did is just water and beans, and you add salt to it. So we're cooking the beans in such a, to the stage that it gets very soft, so you can mash it a little. So we're just trying to replicate the ewagoing. We are used to this traditional.
You could have just said ewagoing.
No, but that's the thing.
With,
no.
Because I mean, it's still sauce. You still have to use sauce too.
That's the thing. Ewagoing is not complete, without the sauce. So the beans is alone. It's like mashed beans, and then mine is seafood pepper sauce, yeah.
Okay.
So we're making use
how
of
do we-
smoked Titus fish,
Okay.
shrimps, tomatoes, seasoning cube, habanero, vegetable oil, palm oil, and onions. So basically, what we're doing left is we're making the sauce. We're making the sauce from everything here.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to introduce
plantains,
plantains. Yeah, this is like you know, you can't just say
What do you
beans.
want to do with the plantains?
I want to fry them. I want to fry them.
Oh, you're going to fry them?
Yes.
Okay.
But you could actually grill it at home, or you could.
You know, you could actually boil them.
Yes, you could boil them. I don't like boiled plantains.
I don't like boiled plantains.
Yeah. And I like very ripe plantains. But we're not using so very ripe plantains, you know.
So this is a healthy option,
yes,
actually.
yes.
So
So basically, what we're doing is we're going to bleach the oil a little.
Okay.
Add vegetable oil. From there, we begin to build the base for the sauce. Onions, tomatoes, habanero. They go in and you let it cook for about.
So are we blending the tomatoes? And
No.
we're
Just
just
chopping. Once we chop it, once it's cooking, it's like it's blended.
Okay.
At the end of the day, you see that it looks blended, but it's not
really?
blended.
Oh, okay.
So once the sauce is almost getting there, we add our shrimps and our smoked fish.
You know, one thing I've not been able to do quite successfully is bleach palm oil.
Well, why?
I don't know. I just always think, you know, it's a process. You know,
Yes.
so you can't exactly. Well, I'm hoping you teach us today how to, you know, really bleach your palm oil.
The thing is, I'm not doing proper bleaching.
Okay.
Proper bleaching is about 7 to 8 minutes.
You see,
Yeah.
mine doesn't even. I don't even allow mine to
Yeah.
take so long. Like.
Proper bleaching, like, and it is better you have an extractor at home,
Okay.
you know, when you are bleaching or palm oil, or you are sure that you don't have any asthmatic patient at home, or because like I'm you know, I'm a little asthmatic, so
Okay.
I do not do proper bleaching, you know,
Okay.
just a little bit of.
Well, why do you have to bleach it? I mean, you could just fry. You could just let it fry a little.
There's this smokiness and flavor it adds to your food.
really?
Yes, when you bleach it. Then when you bleach it, it begins to look like vegetable oil, and when you cook it, it is amazing. That's how they make ofada sauce, you know,
Oh,
with
really?
bleached palm oil.
Wow,
Yes. So
interesting.
then what we do next is just we begin to cut everything together. Cut the onions, the tomatoes, the habanero. Then it goes on the pan.
Okay.
Yes, obviously with the palm oil and vegetable oil. Then when it takes a little while, we add our fish and our shrimps to it.
Okay.
And yes, seasoning cube. Then you could add a bit of salt to it.
Have you added anything to your beans?
No. We're cooking it till I wanted to be
You
really
know,
soft.
when you told me you were making beans today, I was like, beans, it takes a really long time.
Yeah, but I started cooking
so
earlier.
let's see how far we've gone with that.
Well, it's almost soft, you know. It's
Is
soft.
Oh, it's soft already.
It is soft already. You know, so you could just leave the beans alone, and it will, once you have enough water in it, it smashes itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess when we come back, we'll talk about the different kinds of beans, because I heard there's a loin and some other ones. But when we return, we'll go on a quick commercial break. When we return, the Wake Up Nigeria show continues.